Hello there guys, it's Jack here from Peach Guitars, and today I want to introduce you to a brand new lineup of pedals from Boss. This is the brand new 200 series. Okay, so Boss have pretty much covered the full gamut of effects that they've offered throughout the years in the form of these new updated 200 series, ranging all the way from an overdrive and distortion box in the form of the OD200. They've got a very clever programmable EQ in the form of the EQ200. They've distilled down their fantastic DD500 series pedal now into the DD200 so that you get all the same delay functionality but in the smaller, more compact package. And then lastly we've got the MD200 as well, which does the same thing with the MD500, distills it down into the smaller package. However, these pedals have been very well thought through to include the fact that you've got MIDI switching on board, so you can use them in very modern ways. If you want to use a MIDI switcher such as the Boss ES series of switchers, these pedals will allow you to facilitate that so that you don't actually need that much programmability and function on board. MIDI can take care of the whole work for you. There's also a few other modern features like external control and expression inputs on all four of these pedals, so you can control virtually any parameter that they have to offer in real time using expression pedals and external switches too. Okay, so the essence of these new 200 series pedals is that you have a manual mode as well as 4 programmable presets on board, which you can scroll through either using the bottom right foot switch button or using an external switch as well. So you have 5 sounds at your disposal on any 4 of these pedals, which will allow you to either get different shades of overdrive and distortion on the OD200. Obviously you can have several different types of EQ settings, several different delay programs, or several different modulation options too, all at the touch of a single button scrolling through the different preset options. So that's really great to have that on board, and as I mentioned before, you can expand that even further using MIDI if you've got a switcher on your pedal board. Okay, so the only other thing to detail here is that I'm playing a Fender American Ultra Strat into a Dr. Z Maz 38 amplifier set, completely clean with a little bit of reverb on board, apart from the one clip where I'm using the EQ, where I did drive the amp a little bit harder as I mentioned. Okay, so let me quickly talk you through what I'm doing with each of the pedals in the video here today. The OD200 I wanted to keep really simple, and I'm just using it for a nice, well-rounded natural overdrive sound. And I'm using the boost function on board, which is a very clever way that Boss has implemented this. You've basically got different types of boosts that you can add in. So I was using a treble booster in front of the overdrive circuit. And you can control all the various parameters of that using the sub-menus and controls. But basically just think of this as, once you've got it set up and you've got your favourite sound happening, you can just leave it where it is, and it's kind of a nice natural way to do things still, despite having all that programmability if you want to use it that way. Okay, so the EQ200 basically takes the humble EQ pedal and proves that it's one of the most underrated, undervalued pedals that you could possibly add to your pedal board for a whole variety of reasons. And of course, having a bunch of presets on board basically maximizes the potential of what an EQ pedal can do for you. What I wanted to try and illustrate in this particular clip was how you can set your amplifier up with a bit of crunch on board for a nice semi-distorted rhythm. You could then use one of the settings to actually create your clean sound by lowering the gain level and manipulating the EQ to suit the sound of your guitar for a clean sound. And then you can have a separate preset which boosts everything up for a nice rich mid-frequency boosted lead sound too. So that's all in one pedal. It basically gives you the entire dynamic range that you need from your guitar rig. DD200, as I said before, is a distillation of the DD500 series of pedals, which is basically Boss throwing everything that they've learned through several decades of making delay pedals into one unit. The DD200 doesn't really give up anything in terms of functionality or sounds on board, but obviously it's in a more compact package which makes it more accessible to most pedal boards out there. So rather than delve into every possible delay sound that Boss offers you in this pedal, I wanted to just show you one of their signature staple sounds, which is one of the famous pad echo sounds that Boss do very, very well. So I'm using this delay for a lot of atmospheric kind of swells. But then I'm going to use stock preset number 1 just for more of a classic digital delay sound that becomes very percussive and a lot of fun to play. So last of all, we've got the MD200, and as I said, this is basically all your modulations thrown into one box. Same as the delay, it's a distillation of the MD500, so you get pretty much all the same sounds that you got in that bigger unit, but a lot of folks will find that they don't need a whole wealth of programmable modulation sounds. You need 4 or 5 at max. This pedal is perfect for that situation. So I've got a classic Boss CE1 chorus sound. I also dialed in a vintage phaser sound, and lastly a nice kind of light tremolo sound, and those are all easily scrollable using the memory button. Okay guys, I hope you've enjoyed this overview of the new 200 series of Boss pedals. I happen to think that these 4 pedals are basically all you need to build a nice modern rig. As I said, if you want to use it with a switcher, you've got a whole wealth of options at your feet. And the nice thing is you're still doing it in a classic analog style way, despite these pedals being at the height of digital technology from Boss. So I hope you enjoyed the clips you're going to hear. If you want to find out even more about any of these pedals, or indeed any of other Boss products that we stock here at Peach Guitars, you can do so by going to peachguitars.com. Check out these pedals in further detail if you want to on the website, and get current pricing information there too. So that's it for today guys, thanks for watching as always, take care and I'll see you next time. Cheers.